Aloha everybody and welcome back to Kyle Astrology. Filming another video today to complete my sun signs for the Scorpio rising series, and this is the last one, and it is what it's like having the sun in Aquarius with the Scorpio Ascendant. This is I say this about all of them, a very interesting placement. Every placement in astrology is just interesting to me because they all bring something unique and different to the table, right? And this combination definitely does that. Aquarius is unique. We all know this. It's ruled by Uranus, also co-ruled by Saturn, and Scorpio is an extremely profound enigma. So bringing these two together is going to definitely have an individual that's marches to the beat of their own drum, so to speak. The Scorpio rising has a way of kind of simmering down any sun sign combination, usually because it's, so domineering and empowering, but the Aquarius sun still definitely has its quirkiness. It has its just unusual yet usual to them ways. I think of electricity and like a lightning bolt when I think of Aquarius. It just strikes when it strikes. You never know when it's coming, and it's always going to affect whoever and whatever it touches with that electricity, right? Uranus is all about these profound insights and kind of being able to be detached enough from the more personal things in life to have a more collective understanding of society in general. And that's why Aquarius can get a rap for being detached and being distant and being kind of removed, because they very much so operate in a way that is much more impersonal. And that's needed. And so Scorpio being a much more personal sign, but also being able to step back and kind of be very guarded with their emotions, dealing with an energy that's not quite so emotional, is an interesting mix, because even though Scorpio doesn't show it, it is deeply emotional, deeply intuitive, has a very squishy center under that hard shell that is the Scorpion. But Aquarius also being fixed and very kind of aloof, because it is an air sign and it is not concerned with emotions, it's concerned with intellectual matters. It does kind of make for an individual that's almost kind of at war with itself, because Aquarius and Scorpio being both fixed, they do form a square to each other. And so depending on the degrees, this is a sun and ascendant combination that is squaring off. But really what that square wants, it creates anxiety, it creates tension, it creates conflict, but it wants a resolution to the conflicts that it feels so that it can better foster making a more wholly rounded individual that is able to deal with every sector of life, especially these two sectors of life, dealing with the intellect, dealing with the personal emotions, because the Scorpio Ascendant is really looking for that deep, profound connection, and Aquarius is kind of looking to, it's the water bearer. It wants to be of service, not in a Virgoan way for this kind of personal one-on-one thing, but more of, and isn't really so much a healer type, but really wants to bring the water to humanity, to people who need it. So how can this best be fostered when you're dealing with a Scorpio Ascendant and an Aquarius Sun? Well, this is someone who is very attached to their ego. The Sun is the ego. Aquarius has a huge ego. Scorpio has a pretty big ego in its own, and so you bring these two together and you have to look at, okay, we can't allow emotion and we can't allow intellect. We can't allow the wild out there insights, and we can also allow the quiet moments and the going within and tapping into our deeper inner spiritual nature. We can be social and, put ourselves out there in our community, but also still have our alone time and our need to be alone and with ourselves and recharge, because that is going to be important with this combination. The Aquarius has a very not social butterfly in the sense of like Libra or Gemini, but they are able to kind of intermingle with a lot of different crowds and a lot of different parts of society while still being very detached from them all at the same time without really getting emotionally involved. Whereas the Scorpio Ascendant, even if you don't always know it, is emotionally involved, and it is forming those attachments to the ones and the places and the things and people that are trustworthy and have what they feel to be a good nature. So this is, again, it's the battle of the emotions, the battle of the intellect, and realizing in the end that it doesn't have to be a battle, that you can lay down the armor, you can lay all of that down, and you can actually combine the two for your best interests, and to accept that you are a highly emotional, intuitive, and intellectually stable individual, and that there's nothing wrong with sometimes having days where you're more in tune with one than the other, and having days where you are able to not have to make that compromise and blend them together in a more coherent way. So really, that is some of the big points for these two for me. Again, both fixed. They both could be a very... I kind of said this on the last combination, but kind of get stuck in their own rut sometimes, and because they're both fixed, it's not like you're dealing with one fixed, one cardinal, one fixed, one mutable, to where there's some kind of variation. They're both could get very stuck sometimes. So you're going to have that shovel handy and kind of dig yourself out, or know when to ask for help. But again, a really cool combination to me. They're all so amazing, and the things that they each provide and how they flavor the Scorpio rising, the different sun signs. So thank you everybody for watching. This is the last video in this series. It's taken me probably almost a year to finish it. I'm so glad to finally be done. It's just cool to get an idea of what each one of these have to offer. So thank you for watching. Please leave in the comments down below what you think of this placement, and if you found this relatable or true, or what your experiences have been. And as well, check out my website in the link down below to book a chart reading with me, see my work and the different things I offer if you're interested. So, and I will be back as always very soon with more videos, you guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Much aloha and happy transiting.